Hey, this is Craig Ferrantino of Craig James Financial. Get ready for another financial report right here on 103.9 LI News Radio.
Discussions in this show are for educational purposes only. The views and opinions expressed are based on current economic and market conditions and are subject to change. Securities and advisory services offered through United Planners Financial Services, member FINRA, SIPC. Craig James Financial Services and United Planners are not affiliated. United Planners and its representatives do not offer tax or legal advice.
Let's not ever forget that website, CraigJamesFinancial.com. Not only loaded with information, but you pre-register on the site. And get ready for all of the great webinars and events, folks, that will be coming our way. And we've got plenty the second half of this year, third and fourth quarter of this year. CraigJamesFinancial.com down yesterday, lost 10 points. Right now, futures is upwards of maybe 25 or so. We'll get a check on that. But all in all, that is actually it's up about 44, so we'll take that. But all in all, that is the case as we are monitoring the big, beautiful bill of the president being debated on the House floor. Hakeem Jeffries started about a month ago. He's still talking. And we'll see what transpires as far as a vote sometime this year, whenever he stops. But we are monitoring it very closely as we welcome in Mr. Craig Ferrantino from the great Craig James Financial Services, located around the heart of Melville off of Broad Hollow Road. And a very good morning to you, my friend, on this Thursday.
And a very good morning to you, Jay. It's so good to hear you. Yeah, there's a lot of drama and tension. Yesterday was a good day. U.S.-Vietnam, the Vietnam trade agreement, which is, I think, the big news.
Yeah.
The brouhaha that's going on TV right now. But, part of it is because the United States will charge a tariff rate of about 20% on Vietnamese goods. And they initially were 46%. Now, there's a word here that's called transshipped, not transgender, Jake. Transshipped. And transshipped means that it originated somewhere else, but shipped from Vietnam. And that's a tricky move because let's say you're putting a 80% tariff on China. China would then move their goods to Vietnam, and then they would be shipped from Vietnam. And that's what you call transshipping. And so a lot of people are doing that. They are transshipping through Vietnam. So if there's anything that's transshipped from Vietnam because you failed to make an agreement with the United States, that'll be at a 40% tariff. So it kind of presages what the future might look like for our big trading partner, which is China. The United States, basically Walmart,
kind of a prelude.
Costco. Yeah, that's right. And so it's very, very important to know that. So if we're looking at that 40% number, whether you're going to get a 40% tariff, whether you ship it to Vietnam to have them ship it, or if you go direct with us, I think 40% might be the number on the tariff. So for China, let's see. July 9th is next week, and we may have to jump on there. But that's when tariff agreements are due.
It's interesting because things go full circle, right? Not all of our listeners were born, but the Vietnam War and everything else, the tensions that existed over there, and then the men and women that we lost and everything else. And, it kind of goes full circle. Fast forward to yesterday with that incredible deal trade agreement. And listen, it's all part of the Trump mantra. And that is to get countries to pay back a little bit. We've never concentrated that in the past. And now you got a guy who is a businessman, obviously, in the White House, who wants to ensure that the United States is going to get their fair share, albeit even a country like Vietnam. Absolutely incredible when you're thinking about it that way.
Well, again, it usually we have a model that after a war, we kind of help the countries out in terms of redevelop. We did this with Japan. We did this mostly Europe, Italy, Germany. And so after war, and certainly Cambodia and Vietnam, we supported them even though they were fighting us. we help them nurture themselves back to some sort of stability as an economy. And I think that model had to have an expiration date. You know what I'm saying, Jay? Like, how long do you nurture Germany back to health when you're almost 80 years after the war? And it's just kind of crazy. So, but again, now we got the mega bill. That's the one. That's the big one, Jay. That's the big kahuna. How that gets through. I think that we have a 4th of July deadline. I know this administration likes deadlines, and whatever sausage you're trying to cut with Congress, as you can see, they don't like cutting. They don't like cutting spending. We kind of figured that over the years. I think that's going to play out for Long Islanders and for people on investing. There are some deals that we're watching very closely, but I really don't even want to talk about them because they're not done yet. When it's baked in the oven, we'll certainly come out there and explain, from my perspective, what this would mean for you and your wallet. And I think that's most important. The first one is, what's the final number on the salt? I don't know, Jay. I know it was 10,000. It got Loloda went up to 40,000. I don't know what the Congressman Loloda, that is. I don't know what the final numbers are in this bill. I have not gotten briefed on that. There are some new savings accounts that if you decide not to go to college, but you want to put some money away, you should be able to take it out tax-free to start a business. So if you put something away at age 4 for your child, and it grows, and you put 10,000, it grows to 60,000, and at age 18, he doesn't want to go to college, but now he's got 60,000, or she's got 60,000 in the bank, you could maybe use that to start a business. And there's some new provisions that could mean a heck of a lot to the average Long Islander and anybody else that's interested in this financial industry field, because, and I'm looking keenly aware on something like that. So I think that's critically important to see how that shakes out. But I don't want to talk about it yet because, Shay, we don't have a signed bill. Someone's spending the time on TV talking and trying, I guess, sort of filibuster it on the House side. So I think that's very, very important. So maybe we'll have another conversation once the fog lifts, Jay. That's what I say. Hey, if you want your fog lifting on your portfolio and you're not sure where you're at halfway through the year, and there's a lot of, of course, just look at the headlines on any of these news sites. There's a lot of fear for the second half and the tariffs and wars in Ukraine. I haven't heard much about Ukraine, Russia, right? I mean, what happened to that? Are they still fighting, Jay? I don't know. Somehow things get consumed. The shiny keys of the American psyche get shown by the media, and you forget about other things that are going on. And what happened with Iran? I guess that kind of dropped pretty fast, right? I don't know. But, these things, they're still going on. If any of these things reemerges very quickly, it could have a powerful effect on your portfolio. You need to give our office a call as we can help you lift the fog in your portfolio. 631-393-2888. That's 631-393-2888. You can go to our website, CraigJamesFinancial.com. That's CraigJamesFinancial.com. We have a lot of, particularly teachers, Jay, they're more relaxed in the summer. They may want to say, I've been working hard all year, and I just, I'm raising my own kids. I'm teaching kids. I just need some time to look at my portfolio. Give our office a call. The summer is a perfect time. 631-393-2888. That's 631-393-2888.
All right. We got a lot going on. Yeah, the salt stuff is a little complicated. As far as the limitation, the number of people who could benefit here. And we'll break it all down this morning before we head off the air, just to kind of keep it in check. Hakeem Jeffries is still talking. Now, listen, I posed this a little while ago. This guy could ruin it for Trump. Trump wants to get this thing signed and sealed by the 4th of July. It is not out of the realm of Jeffries, who's been talking, I think, for 2 hours plus. He could go on another 19, 20 hours. They ought to set a limitation as far as how long to talk. Really, how long can you filibuster? I mean, it's asinine. It really is, and he's doing it because he does not want this bill to go to a vote and be quickly signed by the president by what he stated the 4th of July. You think I'm crazy with that? Could happen.
Of course. He's making a name for himself. I think that's That's a good move on his part. He's getting a lot of publicity right now. As you know, remember Cory Booker?
Yes, on the steps. Yep.
Yeah, for he did 24, 27 hours. How long did he get? Some number. He's trying to break a record. But, to what avail? I don't know. What was the end result of that? I'm not sure. But there you go. And I think Hakeem.
Listen, I wouldn't be surprised either if these guys wear Depends or something. You think I'm crazy? I'm telling you. That's what they're prepared for this stuff. We're prepared without you for the next several. I want you to enjoy. You'll come back on for any breaking stuff. Craig usually takes a little summer respite, and he deserves it. The hardest working guy in the business. And we love him for it. He'll come back fresh, and you will hear him bits and pieces throughout the summer on breaking stuff. So you and yours, my friend, enjoy. How's that?
Thank you, Jay. We'll miss you, certainly, and we'll be in touch via text. Anything comes up, I will let you know, my friend, and we'll be happy to jump on.